my script or my preparation or the words that I must make sure come out of my mouth are going to go here. My timer, which is my best friend because I'm a super talkative teacher, is going to go right here for 12 minutes, I think. Not my map, but my timer. Okay. Resume. There we go. Okay, writers, my turn, your turn with my name. Mrs. Vahey.
Mrs. Vahey.
Does anyone have a brother or sister in kindergarten? Okay, hands down. Anyone have a brother or sister in fourth grade? Maybe? Okay, hands down. So I got the chance to work with some kindergarten and some fourth grade kids earlier. You're my last lesson of the day. Man, and I am like getting a little crazy about what I want us to accomplish. So we are going to shift gears maybe. Draw things that are familiar. My turn, your turn. Familiar?
Familiar.
Draw on some things that are familiar to you as a writer. I can't believe there's a chart up talking about theme, because that's a bit about what we're going to do today. And we're going to use some writerly muscles to write something called a literary essay. One more time, my turn, your turn. Literary essay?
Literary essay.
Which means we are going to take all that we know about being strong writers. Sure, the spelling and the punctuation part, but also the writing of important ideas. The idea that when you write something powerful, you have to back it up with evidence or with your own brilliance in your brain as a writer. So to write this literary essay, hang on, my phone just slipped off. Let me snap it back on. To write this literary essay, we're going to use a familiar book, and I put an anchor chart together for us to help us do this as well. So thank you, Themes, for inspiring us there. And I'm going to show you some of the steps that a writer takes to write a literary essay. Bum, bum, bum. And I'm using, couldn't believe this. When I saw Teammates, how many folks remember this book? Yeah, fairly familiar to you, right? Teammates, such a great text. I'm going to actually tuck it in. And huge shout out. I'd never read this book before. Oh my gosh, I ordered it right away. It's such a great story. So I could have used that book. I actually brought We Are All Wonders. Do you guys know that book by R.J. Palacio? Yeah, some people maybe, yeah. I could have used that. Pops Bridge, I didn't know this book either, but I'm Eve Bunting. Hands down, one of the best authors around. But I chose Teammates because I want us to be able to put a powerful thesis statement in action. So writers, today, I'm going to teach you that to write a literary essay, you follow a pattern, a set of actions. And when you follow those actions carefully, even if you're not totally sure what direction you're going, you'll be able to write a literary essay in about 20, 25 minutes. And you'll be able to do that the rest of your life. So when you are super tired and you're in 9th grade and something like, you can't go to bed till you write your Romeo and Juliet paper, you'll be like, Romeo and Juliet, but you'll be like, wait, I know the steps for writing a literary essay. And here they are. Let me take my prompts down. So, step 1, make a big, bold opinion about something. So, here are some of my big, bold opinions about Teammates. Jackie Robinson is a hero. Mm-hmm. Okay, yep, some people are nodding. Pee Wee Reese does the right thing. Oh, yeah, at the end. Maybe not so much in the middle. I'm just going to throw that out there, but definitely in the end. Okay, baseball has some bad fans. Those people in Cincinnati, or I could have been like inappropriate, or like, I could have rewritten this another way to be like, when fans can ruin history. Fans can just, fans sometimes do the wrong thing. Like, so there's a few ways I could have written that. Pee Wee Reese is brave. Mm-hmm. Has anyone read or seen the book Wonder, the chapter book? Yeah. Guess what I named my new dog?
Wonder. Pee Wee Reese?
No. We thought about Pee Wee though. Augie. Oh. Augie. So, because we wanted a dog that would be brave. So Pee Wee Reese is brave. Augie is brave. This is a big kind of theme in books. That's a kind of a bold idea, to find who's brave in a text and like shout that out. Oh, I got sort of a hard one again. Jackie Robinson was treated so unfairly.
Yes.
Yeah, so okay. So you make a big, bold opinion. And in literary essays, that's called, oh, I don't want you to think, I gotta make sure you see the whole word. There we go. So when you're writing a literary essay, that big, bold opinion is called a thesis. My turn, your turn. Thesis?
Thesis.
Thesis?
Thesis.
Thesis. Yeah, I gotta get the TH out. So in high school, someone will be like, write your thesis statement, it's due tomorrow. And the thesis is just the big, bold idea that you're saying. Romeo and Juliet were star-crossed lovers. Jackie Robinson is brave. Pee Wee Reese is brave. Those are the big, bold ideas, your thesis statement. Next, boy, Mrs. Vahey, epic fail. Let me get those back up there. You go back to your text and you quote it. You include evidence from your text. Where in the text was Jackie Robinson brave? Where in the text were the fans horrible? Right? So you go back and you find that. That's why I copied part of the book. Like, put it on the copier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pages from the end of the book, so that we can find that text evidence. And then here's the hard part. I mean, this is truly even hard for high schoolers sometimes, but we're gonna rally. You elaborate on that evidence. Elaborate. Does anyone know what that word means? You elaborate. Yeah, have a go.
Like, try, like explain what the evidence was and
Yes.
how it happened.
Yep. A great synonym for elaborate could be explain, or say more, or keep going. Flush out those ideas. So here's what your paper might have been in first or second grade. Pee Wee Reese is good. He is so nice. He is good and nice. Pee Wee Reese does the right thing because he is nice and he is good. The end. Right? Do you remember like writing papers like that where you're just like, stop saying good and nice, right? So that doesn't include any elaboration where you explain more. Pee Wee Reese, you could still say Pee Wee Reese is good. Then you find the evidence. There was a game in Cincinnati where the fans screamed terrible, hateful things. Okay, so now I need to elaborate and say more. Instead of, I'm going to just be a little bit fresh here. Instead of swearing at the fans, Pee Wee Reese decided to stick up for his friend. His friend Jackie Robinson. So do you see how like we're saying more, we're elaborating, we keep going. We don't stay in that good, nice, fun, special. You say more about it. Okay, deep breath in. Blow it out. One more in. Blow it out. Okay, so 3 steps to writing a literary essay. You can carry these with you your whole life. Give me a finger. 1, make a big, bold opinion. Have an idea about something, okay? That's step 1. Step 2, gather your evidence. Yeah, include evidence from the text. Go back to the text. Reread something. Step 3, explain, elaborate. You can impress someone at home tonight by being like, do you know what elaborate means? I do. You know, add more. Explain your thinking. Keep going. Exactly. Those are the steps. Now, there's lots of other formulas about, you know, how to make it neat and how to make it long enough, but we're just getting in the big idea space. Make a thesis, include the evidence, and elaborate. Now, I'm going to actually ask you to really cooperate with me. I'm going to pass these out, and then I just want you to take one and pass them back to who's ever behind you or around you, okay? No, you're going to take one and then pass the stack back. There you go. Take one and pass the stack back. Take one and pass the stack. Can you take one and pass the stack back? Good. So we want to make these, oh, I need one too. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Now you may think this is crazy as a writing teacher that I didn't have you bring a pencil. But I actually we're going to be using our finger to sort of scoot through the text to be skimming. So these are the last pages. Just put the extras on the table behind you, please. So pass all the extras back to the kids in the chairs. Thank you. Or teachers, you might want some extras too. Awesome. Okay. So don't be foolish with these. Keep them still. Put them right in front of you so that you can see them. It might help if you put your thumb at the bottom and sort of press down. So that's how you sort of hold a single piece of paper. If you're ever reading a speech, that's a good thing to know. And this is the very end of the book where the Reds travel to Cincinnati for the game. And, where the Yankees travel to Cincinnati to play the Reds. And the fans are being horrible to Jackie, and Pee-wee makes a big decision to be with him. So I'm just going to steal your language. It is amazing when Pee-wee Reese sticks up for Jackie Robinson. Let's pretend that that's our thesis, okay? Let's say it again together. It is amazing when Pee-wee Reese sticks up for Jackie Robinson, okay? Skim through and find some evidence in the story where that happens, okay? So skim. Go and read. Look for a place where that happens. When you get to something, raise your hand. Yep, okay. Well, hang on. Keep going. Keep reading. Good. I'm looking for like 4 or 5 different hands. Did you find something? Just put your hand up so I know. Okay. Great. Okay, can I go with you? Tell me what your evidence is. Just read your sentence.
I am standing by him. He said to the Lord.
Yep, very last sentence, right? Go to the skim, your eyes right to the bottom. You are excellent at skimming. Her eyes went like right to the bottom. I'm standing by him, Pee-wee Reese said to the world. That's the part where, that's that words right out of Pee-wee's mouth. That's a strong piece of evidence that Pee-wee Reese is amazing, right? Can you say more about that? Can you, hands down, can you elaborate on that a little bit more for me?
Pee-wee Reese stuck up for what is right.
Mm-hmm. When
Jackie Robinson was being treated unfairly.
Do you hear how she took it a little bit further there? She didn't just plop down her evidence, but she elaborated a little bit. We have time for one more suggestion in the text. Where's a good piece of evidence about Pee-wee's amazingness? Do you have a piece of evidence?
I had one about how the fans were didn't Jackie Robinson.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you. He's got a different thesis statement. And in really great books, there are like 5 different thesis statements you could go with, because you might be more interested in the terrible fans as your thesis statement, and that's okay. Now, the thesis statement we're working on right now is Pee-wee's amazingness. So I want you to find evidence for your own thesis statement, but right now we're finding evidence for our group thesis statement, which is that Pee-wee is amazing. Did you have some? Did you have some evidence? No? Do you have some evidence? No? Listen, there's like 21 pieces of evidence here. Come on. Come on. Don't break my heart with that evidence. Hands down if your hand is up. Listen, I'm going to go to my favorite piece of evidence in here because you can see this in your eyes. Watch me. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, last sentence. Pee-wee's legs felt heavy, but he knew what he had to do. Listen to me elaborate on that. Pee-wee's legs felt heavy, but he knew what he had to do. This means that when he was walking, he was dreading it. He might have felt bad that Jackie was treated so unfairly, and he might be embarrassed being a white guy on the field. His legs were dragging. That nervousness is the worst feeling. But Pee-wee is awesome, and he decided to not let his heavy legs stop him. Okay, did you hear my A+? That wasn't that great elaboration by me? Yeah. As writers, you don't just drop in the evidence. You have to say more about it. Have you ever had your legs felt heavy, especially if your mom's like, Christopher Michael, get down here this minute? Like, is there anyone named Christopher Michael in this class?
No, that's Christopher.
What's your middle name?
Did you call?
Okay, my brother's name is Christopher Michael. That's why I use that example, because my mom would say that. My mother would say, Christopher Michael, get down here this minute. Do you think my brother would come quickly?
Yes.
No, he'd come like this. Because he knew he was in big trouble, so his legs felt heavy. He wasn't excited to go get in trouble for teasing me. So I could relate to what Paul Golenbeck was writing there, and I can elaborate on that. Now, writers, I'm taking the giantest risk ever. Put your papers down so that you can see me. I love Teammates. I've loved that book for a very long time. And I've known it and I'm passionate about it. If you are passionate about Teammates, you can now go write about Teammates. You might already be thinking about the part about the fans. And that's okay. But this is the crazy part. I want you to find a book you're passionate about. And if you're not passionate about Teammates, it's okay with me if you pick a different book to write a literary essay on right now. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to start by making a big, bold opinion. And that big, bold opinion will be your first sentence. No, your first sentence will probably be like, today I'm writing about Teammates. And let me tell you, Pee Wee Robinson is an amazing person. I learned that in Teammates. And then I would start writing my evidence and elaboration. If you don't want to write about Teammates, that's okay. But you have to pick a book that we have. Because in this kind of writing, you don't have to remember stuff. You have to just look at the book and find it. So this isn't good to do with Harry Potter, because that book is too long and it's too hard to find the evidence, even though there are so many great ideas in that book. We're not going with big, humongous books today. We're going with smaller books. So for instance, if you loved Teammates, great. You got a copy of the end of the book. I'll leave it in the basket if you want to actually look at the book. You've got fables here. You've got, you've got the Alan Say book about the guy, the grandpa guy, and the sort of the picture movies and the candy. That was so amazing. You've got hundreds of books in your classroom to write about. What I don't want you to do is do this. Oh, I don't have anything to write about. I can't pick. It's too hard. If you say that, I'm just going to be like, then write about Teammates. Right? There's no wallowing in, I don't know what to write about. If in doubt, write about Teammates. If you have another obviously favorite book, go choose that book and write about it. But you're going to have to make a thesis. You're going to have a big, bold idea about it. Secondly, there's no getting stuck. Listen, I love you all, but I'm not running around and spelling things for people today. If you are stuck, I don't know how to spell something. I got 3 words for you. Sound it out. Just write, just try your best, or have a go, or make it work, or don't bug me. But whatever it is, those 3 words are, don't wallow in like, oh, I can't go any further because I don't know how to spell persnickety. Just sound persnickety out. Yeah, persnickety. It's one of my favorite words to impress people. It means grumpy. Who's a persnickety person?
Can't you just write grumpy?
Yes, you could write grumpy, but you could write persnickety and impress people. Stop. The timer's gone off. I must stay focused on the mini lesson. You should have a go at spelling things. If your pencil's broken, get a new pencil. If someone is bothering you, come sit on the rug by yourself away from the person's bothering you. If you don't have an idea and you're stuck, come look at the anchor chart and remember what we did here on the rug. There's no waiting around. Like, there's thinking, but I don't want anyone to be like, oh, I didn't have any paper, or I couldn't find a book. Because if you don't have a book, what book should you use? Teammates, right? It's a great story. There's a lot of good ideas in it. So, to be clear, there are 3 things you do when you write a literary essay. You make a bold opinion at the beginning. You include evidence, and then you tell more about why you chose that evidence. Writers, this is not going to be a perfect essay. This is like, just get it done today. Like, I want you to get like 125 to 300 words on the page today. Like, power hour. This is like when you go to gym and they're like, it's the 1 mile run day. Today is the 1 mile run of essay writing. Who feels ready? Yes! Who feels pumped? Yes, yes! Okay, listen up. If you're not doing teammates, you're still taking your teammates' piece of paper with you. If you are doing teammates, you have it. I'm going to set the timer. You literally have 4 minutes to find the other book if you're not going with teammates. No running. It's not an emergency. Just gently find that next book and then get writing. Start with your big, bold thesis statement. Go with a brilliant thesis statement. That helps the work a lot. Okay. Good. Wow. Good. Good. Finding something, make sure it's a book you've read all the way, so that as you're finding evidence. Horrible Harrys are excellent for this because Harry always learns some kind of lesson. Henry and Mudges are great for this if you're a Henry and Mudge fan. Geronimo Stilton, Yep. Pops Bridge is perfect for this. Big lessons in that book. Big ideas. Big, raucous, bold ideas. Good. I see a few people rereading Teammates. Awesome. Write up. Scribble on that piece of paper. Underline the evidence if you want. You can't do that in your textbook, but you can do it on that piece of paper for sure. Oh, I know exactly. Yes. You picked a perfect page for text evidence. That's awesome. Does anyone need a Post-it note for who's using a real book? This might help you. Yep, and maybe in case you have 3 pieces of text evidence. Yep. Wow. We did that in 3 minutes. Everyone is settled in. Awesome. I'm going to set the timer for 11 minutes. We'll write for 11 minutes solid, and then we'll take a quick break after that. Remember, when you're rereading Teammates, you can write all over my Teammates piece of paper if you like. Good. Good. Yes, underline it here, and then you won't have to find it again. You'll have lots of energy for finding it. I'm taking a wheelie chair. Hey, can I do a conference with you really fast? This is like a writing check-in, a conference. Okay. So you chose this book, which I just read for the first time. Are you feeling like you know what you want your thesis statement to be? So what's a big, bold, what's the theme or the big idea of this book? Have you read it before?
Yeah.
2 or 3 times probably?
Maybe treated is how you want to be treated because...
That's awesome. So I want you to go for that. Like, I don't want you to worry about it anymore. That's a great...
I can't remember the book because I was a little long time ago.
Okay. Hang on. Treat
Let me
others.
think of the book. Care for others.
Yeah, care
Because-
for others.
Because usually the kids only wanted the money and not the stories. And there's this one kid who always just went for the stories and had no money.
Yeah, and that's the part that he was passionate about, right?
Yeah.
Was hearing the stories each time, yeah. So I want you to skim through this, looking for a couple places where that boy is. And that's where you'll put your Post-it notes, because those will be the pages where you'll get text evidence from. And then I just put your thesis statements up here, your bold opinions, so that you could find them quickly, okay? Okay, and tell me your first name.
Avery.
Avery?
No, Avrie.
Okay, got it. Okay. So you're going to skim so that you have enough reading time, okay? Writing time, I mean. Great skimming. Writers. I'm interrupting us quickly because I just had a brainstorm reading over your shoulder, right? So you're not doing Pee Wee Reese, you're doing another character. Way to take it out on a limb. Super important work. This is a bit of a formula that you can use that I just want to show you. After you gather that evidence where someone says something or does something, right? Where Pee Wee Reese, remember how he said something at the end, or he does something, or Jackie Robinson does something? Here's a formula you can use to get to the elaboration. When Jackie Robinson says blah, 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 or who's the fairy you're writing about? Superberry. When Superberry does blah, 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 it shows that, and then that's where you elaborate, right? Because the things that these characters say and do, that's your evidence. And then that's going to show you that they're an excellent friend, or they're very brave, or they're not afraid of the fans, or that they know how to do the right thing. And this is just a formula to use to elaborate or to say more. You don't have to always do this. In fact, it gets a little boring if you do it all the time, but it gets you going on elaboration, okay? Okay, back to your writing. Excellent. Okay. So I see you're just getting started, Mason, on your thesis. What do you think it's going to be? What do you think your thesis is going to be? What do you want to say about this book?
Good sport.
Yeah, perfect. That is so perfect. And I see you wearing the Patriots jersey. So, do you like athletics?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always easy to be a good sport, right? It's way easier when you're on a winning team. It's way easier when fans aren't spitting on you or being rude to you. But Pee Wee Reese is a good sport, even when
Jackie Robinson isn't getting treated here.
Yes, that's great. Get that down as quickly as you can. Great. That is a powerful thesis statement. Good. Get it down. Good, yeah. You can move all of those Post-it notes around, and you can copy right from them and then bring it back when you're done. Okay, how's it going? Yeah, okay, awesome. You're gathering that evidence. This shows me, or this makes me think, yeah, you're there. Hi, how are you? Okay, turn to me for a minute. Just put your work down and just turn your body to me. So do you know what you want your thesis statement to be yet? Are you writing about teammates? Do you know the book? Which character do you like, or do you feel like you relate to a little bit more, Jackie or Pee-wee? Who do you like? Who inspires you more, or who do you like more? Yeah, or circle it. That might be a good way to do it too. So here's Pee-wee. He's the white guy in the book. And then scoot down a little bit. Oh, they don't say his full name there, but there's Jackie's name. He's the black player, one of the first black players in baseball. And they're just being horrible to him. Look at it, says they screamed terrible, hateful things at Jackie when his team, the Dodgers, were on the field. So I want to know, if you're going to do teammates, can you pick one of those two guys to write about? To be like, yeah, I'm going to dig into Jackie's story, or I'm going to dig into Pee-wee's story. You can pick one of them? Awesome. That's exactly what you need to do. So get going on that thesis statement, and here's a formula for you to do that. Pick the name of the player you want to write about. So let's say you pick Pee-wee. Pee-wee Reese was, and then you put a word in. Or if you pick Jackie Robinson, you put Jackie Robinson was, and you put in the word that you think really is the power word about them, okay? And if you're stuck, look at me one more time. If you're stuck, there's a bunch of power words on the pink Post-its over at the rug too, okay? Okay, awesome. Get going on that thesis statement. You choose another sports book, but with a really good story in it, right? Yeah.
It's how we never give up.
That's a perfect theme for this book. So it looks like you might have found one place in the story as a piece of evidence. But I'll go help Bobby at the ball. Bobby gave him this. Don't worry. And Bobby took his. Got a hit. Awesome. So can you write, if I were to push you a little bit here as a writer, I'm wondering if I can help you go a little further. Is there another place in the story where there's a never give up message?
No. It's only at the baseball field.
It's only at the baseball field.
Yeah.
So who's the kid who's the, let's see, if that's where, that long inning. And who's up at bat? It's Bobby, and Bobby's the nobody believes in him, right? So could you write about this particular game and what happens in this game? Like, could you start by saying, like, there was a game where everyone was yelling at Bobby.
And laughing at him.
Mm-hmm. And who does that remind you of, actually?
The teammates.
Yeah, it does. It reminds me of that too. So you gave one example. Now I'm wondering, you did the example of Willie helping. Now can you do the example of, like, Bobby really felt terrible because at one of the games, and then say what
Laughing at it.
Mm-hmm. That can be your next example. Great. Great, great, great. Oh, I'm only going to have 10 seconds. Friends, that is my, this time I only get to set it for 2 minutes. We've been at, are you feeling it? We've been on fire for 13 minutes as writers so far. So let me just grab eyes again. I want to give a couple hints about how to keep our momentum moving forward, because we're going to write for about 8 more minutes, and then we'll get to our share time. So at the rug, at our mini lesson, we said, listen, you can write a literary essay no matter what. If you, one, make a big, bold statement. Make a thesis statement. Say something important about your book. Number 2, find text evidence that backs up your thesis statement. So some people have found their first bit of text evidence, and then they elaborate on it. They tell more. That's step 3, right? If you've done that work, and you're like, okay, I'm done, I did it. I'm giving you the same push I gave Caitlin. Caitlin, which is now go back and find a second piece of text evidence, or even a third piece of text evidence that backs up your thesis statement, okay? And you won't have time to do a second and a third, but almost everyone, if you shake out your shoulders and shake out your wrists, should be able to get at least one more big piece of text evidence done if you're done with the first. And if you're not done with the first, you should be able to finish it and get halfway started on your second piece of text evidence in your elaboration. You're adding details. This is like pen to paper. Who feels like they've written at least a half sheet of paper so far? Yeah, so let's get going. Every person up to 3/4 of a sheet. Okay, friends, keep going. I'm going to set this timer for 8 minutes, and we will see where we are in 8.
You made a statement that you haven't done.
Yes.
Can you elaborate in 2 different sentences?
Yes, please elaborate in 2 sentences. That's great. Okay, so Christopher, not Christopher Michael, but at least you're Christopher. Okay, show me the part in the text where he stands up for him and underline it. Yep, where's another place? Pee-wee does something really important here. Read this part in a whisper to me. Stopping beside Jackie, Pee-wee
Put his arm around Jackie's shoulder.
Put his arm around Jackie's shoulder, like a side hug, right? An audible gasp. That means you could hear it. A gasp rose up from the crowd when they saw what Pee-wee had done. Why were they so shocked?
Because he was taking that for a black person.
Yeah, listen. This is your text evidence here. Look it. Pee-wee put his arm around Jackie's shoulders. Then just say that with me. The crowd was shocked because...
The crowd was shocked because...
They... What's your idea? Because why? They've never
seen a white person put his arm around a black person.
Yes! Can you get that down in these next 8 minutes? That is so powerful. At the game, Pee-wee put his arm around Jackie's shoulders. This is all right. So now you're going to share your evidence, and you're going to write what happened at the game, and then you're going to elaborate. You're going to say, why was that so incredible? People side hug all the time, right? No, this was shocking because people hadn't seen a white guy put their arm around a black person before at a baseball game. Okay, do you feel in control? Okay. Thank you. I feel like you're stuck. Are you? Okay, what's your thesis? What's your big idea about the book? Sweetie, then look at me. I gave you 5 big ideas on the board. Just swipe one of my ideas. What do you think your big idea should be? What's powerful in this book? What do you want to? Oh, this is Roberto Clemente. Okay. This is so easy. What can you say about Roberto Clemente? Roberto Clemente.
Good at baseball.
Better. He's not just good at baseball. He's a good human being, right?
He's a hero.
He's a hero. Let's make that our thesis. Roberto Clemente is a hero. Okay, make that your thesis. Write it down. Roberto Clemente is a hero.
I have one for him. Like he's a caring man because he went back to save his people from the hurricane.
That's the text evidence. That's the exact part I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but he died on the plane.
I know. I
He
know.
still risked
That's
his
what
life.
makes him a hero, though. He risked his life. That's all great language. Okay, back to yours.
I just want to know.
I know. Don't lose your own
I'm done
mojo.
anyways.
Okay, Jordan, you're ready to add another piece of evidence to yours, okay? Thank you. I love your opening. By the way, Jordan, awesome opening statement. Okay, Lucas, get that thesis down.
I think I'm done. I need to do it.
Okay, so I want to go to the other place. There's another place right here where that boy comes into play. Right here. You gotta get some evidence from here too, okay? So go to this part. This part right here. These 2 pages. See if there's another bit of text evidence on those 2 pages, okay? Roberto Clemente is a hero and is the best at baseball. So let's find the part where he's a hero. This is all good at baseball. I know, but that's not the part. Here's where he's the hero. Hang on. Here it is. That rainy New Year's Eve, Roberto sat in the San Juan airport and waited for them to fix his plane. He would carry food and supplies that Roberto had paid for. Right? So look at me. Come here. Come stand up with me. Over here. Come here. Ready? When Roberto Clemente what does he do? When Roberto Clemente
Does save
gets on a
plane,
and takes the
food and supplies,
to
his home.
yes, okay, so got that. When Roberto Clemente takes, yeah, I'll just add the word takes here. Takes the food and supplies to Puerto Rico, his home. It shows that.
He is a hero.
Good, go write it. You did.
A little bit more about.
You added even more? Yes. It is okay. I want to push you. It is okay. I am not. Yes. Do you see how that elaboration makes it even stronger? Wow. Good. You ready for a second quote? This part is really excellent about not complaining. That's perfect. Good. Writers, I got to give the countdown. We're at 30 seconds. So just finish up your last sentence. Don't get in freak out mode. Just finish it up. I'm not going to get in freak out mode, and I don't want you to get in freak out mode. You got it in? Good. Yes, you're following the formula. Perfect. Good, Christopher. Yes. Uh-huh. I gotta write my last note down too. Writers, who's feeling the energy? Like you're gonna be like, I wrote a literary essay today at school. What did you do at school today? Well, we had indoor recess and that was kind of bad, but I also wrote a literary essay, so that feels kind of good, right? So we had a mini lesson at the Rug. That's my bossy time. I taught you how to do something. And then, even though you're not yet experts, you had to go. You approximated this work by doing the best you could with just a little bit of trying. How many people feel like they wrote at least 8 lines today? How many people feel like they wrote at least 10 lines today? Yeah, we're really powering through this stuff. Good, hands down. This last part of workshop is sharing, and this can be very, very risky. You might feel a little vulnerable here, but here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask everyone to stand up with just their essay. Just whatever you wrote today is perfectly fine. Stand up and push in your chair. Good. Okay. I want this whole table to line up here. And this whole table to line up here. So come over, you make a line in front of me. Yep, come over to this side, perfect, good. Can you come over to this side? Can you come over to this side? Thank you, thank you. That's my cushy chair. Okay, so we're gonna partner up and share our writing. And here's how it's gonna work. Boys might be with girls. Girls might be with boys. You might be with a friend. You might not be with a friend. You might be with someone you like. You might be with your cousin who you hate. No, hopefully no one hates their cousin in our class, right? But here's what's important. You're going to find a place in the room, and one person's going to read their writing, and you're going to compliment them. You're going to say, I loved that part of the book too, or I see that you did what Mrs. Behe showed on the board, or wow, you took a risk and chose another book. That's really cool. So it's important that we both share our writing and then we bolster each other. We give each other hope. We give each other compliments as writers because leading a writerly life is really hard work. So it means that you have to take care of each other when we do it, okay? Okay, so you two are going to be partners. Go find a place to read to each other. You two are going to be partners. Go find a place to read to each other. You two are going to be partners. Go find a place to read. You two are going to be partners. Go find a place to read.
It's a good thing we're both quiet.
It's perfect. You two are going to be partners. Find a place to read. You two are going to be partners. Find a place to read. You two are going to be partners. Find a place to read. You two are going to be partners. Find a place to read. You two are going to be partners. Find a place to read. You two are going to be partners. Find a place to read. You two are going to be partners. Find a place to read. You're with me, okay? Good. Okay, go, read, find a place, plop on the ground or find a place to read. Okay, what'd you write about?
I write about Albert.
I know, and I don't know that book, so I'm super excited. Okay, go.
Okay, Eve was flying to her house and she sees a ghost, so she goes and tells her friends, but they did not believe her. So one day at school, something crashed into the building, the school, so now they believe her, but when they were trying to catch the ghost, it wasn't a ghost, it was another owl, but her friends was trying to help Eve
It's okay, her friend.
Tell the class that she did see a ghost. See a ghost. That was then Lucy told the class that she did because and even know that they saw the white owl because that was the one up here.
Yeah.
I was just supposed to hit they.
Yep.
They saw the white owl. There was actually a ghost.
Okay, so that is a retell. You're telling me what's happened. I want to give us a push. Can I give you a push?
Yeah.
I think the big idea in this book, the lesson, the bold statement is like, friends should believe each other.
Yeah.
Like, is that part of the book? Like, are the owls
Yeah.
nice to each other? Or are they like,
One was mean to.
yeah, that's what I was
like,
getting the sense of, right?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like part of what you might, now that you've told all of that, you now have this thesis, and that's the lesson from this book is friends should believe each other.
Yeah.
Can you write that thesis down? Make sure that it goes at the bottom of your page. Friends should believe each other. Friends should believe each other. Writers, you should definitely be on the second person now, okay? So you should both have a chance to read, right? Have you both read? Awesome, okay. You both complimented? Did you both read? Okay, that's okay. Look at his paper. It'll make it easier to come up with a compliment. No, because we're just about to close this lesson. Writers, eyes on me. I know everyone might not be done yet, but I have to interrupt us. I have to get us into the zone of closing up this lesson. We learned how to write a literary essay today. It was not easy. We didn't fill out a form. We could choose different books. I didn't tell you what your thesis was. You had to come up with a thesis. These are big new muscles, new synapses in your brain that you're growing even. Something important to know. When you share your writing with someone else, it's that person's job to find something to give you some praise on, to help you feel good about yourself as a writer. We give each other's compliments. We give each other compliments to help each other grow. That's how we create a community where writers can take risks. How many people feel like if I were to take this paper home and grade it, that you would for sure get an A++? Oh, okay, so a few. And how many people are like, no, this made me totally nervous today? Yeah, a few people are like, this is not my favorite thing to do at all, right? So we have to take care of each other while we're learning how to do new things. So I'm going to ask someone to be very brave. Does anyone feel like they can give their person a compliment in front of all of us? Like you can tell your writer, your friend, what they did well in front of the whole class. Okay, pink striped shirt. You think you can do it? Okay, stand up. And who are you going to give a compliment to? Who is her? Okay, Shyla is shrinking into the wall. And what did Shyla do well today?
She added some humor in it.
Say it again.
She added some humor into it.
She had humor in her piece. Shyla, nice job. That wasn't even part of the assignment and she did it. Let's give her some snaps. Snap, 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 snap. I'm zooming over here. Did you think you could compliment your person or did Pink think she could compliment Heart? Heart can compliment Pink? Okay, who's your person?
Caitlin.
Nice and loud. What can we compliment Caitlin on?
From so far, he didn't finish reading. I really liked the second sentence because it was really creative.
She zeroed in. She zoomed on a particular sentence that was especially good. That's what partnerships do. They zoom in on each other's work. You show your work to other people so that they can help you become a better writer. Okay, I want you to give your partner an elbow bump and then head back to your spot. I know other people are willing to share. Give your partner an elbow bump and say thank you and head back to your spot. No, why did I say that? Writers, I actually want all your papers right here. Whether you liked your paper or not, you can put it upside down so that no one sees it. Upside down or right side up, it's up to you. Plop it on the spot and then head back to your spot. Awesome. Fab. Great job.
I felt really nervous just doing it.
Yeah. It does feel like fifth grade stuff. You give yourself an A.
Do you want these to
Keep them on, for sure. Keep them on. That's awesome. Good. Great job. Writers, someone asked me if they could room, that person could have permission to go do that now. And then we teachers and the videographer are leaving, but I am going to say something. I think you will have access to the video and kids will be able to watch. You know, you could maybe on a day where there's indoor recess, you could watch the lesson again and check yourselves out and see if you're like meeting high expectations, because it's going to be on a video so that we can watch it again, okay? So let's give ourselves 5 big claps of awesomeness. Rock and roll. It was awesome to get to write with you guys today. I'm gonna leave the anchor chart here, and I'm gonna take the rest of the stuff, and we're gonna take. Wait, are we leaving?
We'll stay.
They're going.
Yep.
Yes, you guys are going in just a minute to
Library.
library. Okay, so line up so that we can kick you out. Yes.